everyone! So today I'm going to be doing part 2 of my summer favorites, which is all of the non-beauty favorites. So I have a couple of books and some clothes and shoes and fun stuff, so let's get right into it. First I'm going to talk about the books. I found 2 books that I absolutely adored this summer, and that's very rare for me to find, especially 2 books in a row. I usually will like something that I've read, or I usually don't even finish reading a book before I start another one, to be honest. But this summer I read The Shadow Year by Richell and the Physick book of Deliverance, Dane by Katherine, Howe. These are both kind of mysteries, I guess you can say. The Shadow Year is a fiction novel. It starts out with the main character, Lila, and just kind of talks about what she's been going through. She recently went through a bit of a tragedy, and she receives this package in the mail with a map and a key to this house, and so she goes out and has no idea who sent her this house, why they sent it to her, what this house has anything to do with her, and the story flip-flops back and forth between present day and I believe it's 1980. And the 1980 portion of it is this group of friends who find this kind of abandoned house in the middle of the countryside, and they decide that since they're leaving university that they're just going to stay here for a year, become very self-sustainable, don't have any jobs, and chaos kind of ensues and everything gets very chaotic, I guess you can say, and it switches back and forth between them and present day Lila and how she's kind of handling her personal tragedy, and you slowly start to figure out what the house has to do with her and how the stories intertwine, and it's really, really good. The characters are extremely well developed. They each have their own personalities, and it's a really good story filled with a lot of drama and a lot of mystery. And the Physick book of Deliverance, Dane, this is one of like my all-time favorite books now. It is just so good. It is a supernatural fiction, and I really enjoy reading supernatural books or fantasy, sci-fi, that kind of thing. I just find them more engrossing than fiction because, you know, that kind of stuff can happen in real life and fantasy stuff doesn't, so it's so much more fun to read. I got the hardcover and I love it. It's, you know, the cover is beautiful, the inside is beautiful, and I like how it has those pages, let me see if you can see them, that are kind of uneven and made from like thick paper. It just adds to this feeling like an old magical book, but it starts off with a woman named Connie Goodwin, and she is a Harvard graduate, and she is writing, I believe, her dissertation, her doctoral dissertation, and she has no idea what she's going to do it on. She wants to do something in the colonial era because that is what she specializes in, and her mother asks her to go up to Salem and handle her grandmother's estate, which has become, you know, just this ruined old home, and Connie's mother doesn't want to deal with it because she didn't have a great relationship with Connie's grandmother. And whilst in the house, Connie finds this key, and there is a little rolled up paper inside the key, and it just has one name, Deliverance, Dane, on it. And Connie, as a historian, you know, wants to know more about this Deliverance, Dane, and I think it might have had a date on it, but I can't remember. Nope, it just has Dane, and it's inside of an old Bible. And so you go through the adventure with Connie, with her finding out who Deliverance Dane is, what her story was, and meanwhile it is flopping back and forth again between present day and I believe 1693, something like that. And you kind of find out what Deliverance has to do with the old house and with Connie, and it's a wonderful story. There is a little bit of romance in it, but it is not a romance novel, which I really appreciate. It adds a little bit of a lightness to it. It is another mystery, and I absolutely loved it. I found it fascinating, and it was a pleasure to read. It flowed very nicely, and it was a very quick read for me, so I really enjoyed those 2 books. Now, something that I usually save for the colder months but found myself absolutely craving in summertime is the Twinings Irish Breakfast Tea. I enjoy this with some half and half and some honey, and I've just found it such a nice little routine to have a cup of tea at night. And it just winds me down and gets me all relaxed, and I haven't really minded having a warm drink in warm weather, which I usually do. I'm usually all about the cold drinks, but I don't know, there was just something about this summer that made me really crave some Irish breakfast tea. All the rest of the items that I have are fashion favorites, and first I'm going to talk about this t-shirt that I got from Aerie. I showed it in a haul a while ago, and I just absolutely wore the living daylights out of this shirt. It's just an easy gray t-shirt. It goes with everything. The cut is beautiful, and at work I can't wear tank tops. You know, we have to wear sleeved shirts, and it gets so friggin' hot. So to be able to just have something I can throw on that's super easy, that's not going to be too hot, that's going to be a short sleeve shirt, that is like the perfect thing. And I absolutely love gray. I don't know what it is about gray, but I really love wearing it. And so that got worn to death. I probably wore that shirt every other week, if not every week. And I just love it. It's so comfy. It's not fancy, it's not pretty, it's just a t-shirt, but it's cut really beautifully, and it's very soft and very comfortable. Now, these next two items are horribly wrinkled because I had them packed in my suitcase from when I went to Maine this past weekend, and I haven't ironed them or anything, so please excuse the fact that they're wrinkled. But the first thing is this pair of shorts that I got at Target. They are high-waisted shorts, and they have an elastic waist, and they also have little pockets, but I just absolutely fell in love with this print. It is amazing. It's so pretty, and I wore these to Firefly, and it was my favorite outfit that I wore all that weekend, and I wore a lot of awesome things that I really, really loved. And I wore it with this shirt that I got at American Eagle. It is a high-necked tank with a very, very low back, and it has this beautiful beaded piece of fabric going down the back. And I was originally going to wear this with a lacy bandeau top, but I ended up wearing it with a bikini top, and it looked perfect. It was cool, it was comfortable, I love the fabric and what it's made out of. And again, it's nothing super, super fancy, but it was extremely flattering, especially tucked into those shorts. And I just absolutely loved it. It was so comfy, and I felt so sassy and pretty because I had like the low cut, which I find very sexy. I almost like low cut backs better than low cut fronts. I find them a little bit sexier. They're a little bit less blatant, and sometimes I find that that's the best way to be sexy. The next piece of clothing that I'm going to mention has a very similar shape to the top, but it is this dress, and I just love the colors. It's a black dress with big purple roses, and again it has the sexy low back and the high neck, and it's a pretty short dress. It's smocked, which I find absolutely lovely, and I always belt it just because, like I said in my last haul video, I find that it flatters me so much more when things are belted. But I wore this 3 times in one weekend because I loved it so friggin' much, and it's so comfy. I got this off of Nasty Gal, and the brand is Some Days Lovin'. It was on sale. I couldn't believe I found it. I was super happy about it. But again, it's just very comfortable, very breezy, super easy to wear, and I found it extremely flattering for my figure. This I did wear with a little lacy black bandeau bra underneath. Now, these 2 pairs of shoes are pretty much the only shoes I wore all summer. I wore both of them down to the ground, and especially these Toms. They were white, and now they're green. And I wore them pretty much every day to work. I can't wear open-toed shoes to work either. So these were great little run-around shoes, and I actually ended up wearing them a lot outside of work as well. But I wore them on a day when it was raining and they got completely soaked. So now they stink real bad. And the inside part of this is kind of like cardboard. It's some sort of composite. It's very thin and it actually ended up cracking, so I had to put Band-Aids and duct tape over it. So I'm probably going to end up throwing these away, which kind of sucks because they weren't super cheap. Toms can be quite expensive. I did get them on sale, which was really, really nice. I got them, I think, in June. But yeah, I'm wearing them down to the point where, like, the toes are just shredded. So these are probably gonna get thrown away, but I absolutely love these. They're so friggin' comfortable. And because they have the open knit in some places, they were very cool to wear. And I will be very sad to have to get rid of these. The other pair of shoes that I wore this summer were my Sanuk flip-flops. And I got these last year. I got these in Newport. And they're so, so comfortable. They have like a squishy material to them so that it's really, really easy to walk in them. I have very high arches, so I either need arch support or something that is going to cushion when I walk, because if I don't, I just get all sorts of problems. I get back problems and hip problems, and it is not pretty. So to have something that's very squishy and very comfy, it was very nice for me. Again, these were white and now they're kind of cream. They were a sparkly white and you can still see the sparkle a little bit. But I loved these flip-flops. They were just so comfortable and they went with everything, and I really like things that are like that. And the last thing that I have that I definitely wore the most this summer, I wore this pretty much every single day, is my Kate Spade Idiom pendant. And the front part is a cream enamel and the back part says the Creme de la Creme, which I just think is really, really cute. And again, it goes with everything. It's just really pretty. I'm just going to drape it over since I already have the necklace on. But it looks really nice with a tan because it is that white cream color. It stands out absolutely beautifully. Goes with everything, and since it's Kate Spade, it makes me feel a little bit fancy, since it is something that was more expensive, even though I did get it on sale. I just love it. I wear it pretty much every single day as long as I remember to wear it and I'm not wearing a different necklace, and it is one of the best things that I've purchased recently. So that's all that I got for my summer favorites. Make sure to like or thumbs up or whatever the lingo is now for that little button down there. If you enjoyed this, make sure to subscribe if you did as well. And watch out for a new video next Wednesday. And I will see you all next week. Bye!